My name is Zach Barber. Welcome to the Lawn Barber. Today I'm going to teach you using an Army aviation method called P4T3. In the Army we have operational readiness goals, and those goals is to keep up a certain amount of aircraft at any given time to ensure that we are ready to fight tonight. Have you ever got to a job site just to find out that you don't have everything? When we do not meet these things because we did not think through the problem correctly, well, a lot of people's heads start to spin. Alright, so here's an example of the P4T3 worksheet. Basically it has problem, parts, people, tools, plan, time, and training, and then you just fill it out accordingly. Problems can vary drastically. Ultimately, what we're trying to do is get to a desired end state or goal. We have tons of manuals on this stuff. So in Army aviation, the problem typically falls into two categories. You have scheduled maintenance and unscheduled maintenance. Scheduled maintenance is exactly how it sounds. Every so often, in certain intervals, you do preventative maintenance to ensure that your equipment or your aircraft stay up. Cool. Unscheduled maintenance is ultimately while the crew is out, whether it's during run-up, shutdown, or in flight, something happens where the aircraft is not performing like it's supposed to or operating how it's supposed to, and a maintenance crew has to go out there and assess the problem and then come up with a plan, and then P4T3 kicks in. Now let's break down the job using the P4T3 method. Basically, in this scenario, we are going to have a customer calling in for a mulch job. Just like problems, plans also have tons of manuals, and for good reason. We have MDMP, troop leading procedures, all these different manuals. Just imagine you logistically trying to plan a mission. A lot of times it's not just internally with our organization. We have to often reach out to other organizations across the Army and other branches, such as the Navy and Air Force. So in the plan, we're basically measuring and preparing the site, scheduling the mulch delivery, spreading mulch in the rectangular, circular, and irregular areas, and then conducting a final inspection and cleanup. Imagine we already have the measurements, so the rectangular beds in the front of the house are 10 feet by 4 feet, and there are 2 of them. Circular beds around the trees have a radius of 3 feet each, and there are 2 of those. And then there's a stallish area that is a bit irregular and is roughly 20 feet long and varies between 5 and 7 feet wide. Next, you have to create a detailed plan. Creating a plan is outlining every step along the way from start to finish. For a landscape job, ultimately you need to know the shape and sizes of the area that you're trying to do, as well as any special instructions that the customer may give you. Now, understanding the scope of work ultimately will allow you to plan accordingly to give the customer the best product possible. The Army is constantly changing. People are coming and going at any given time. It's an all-volunteer organization. So, the onboarding process is extremely important because people are important. They are really the bedrock of the organization. For this project, it's really just going to be 2 people. It's going to be me and another worker. I'll do the estimating and project management, and then together we'll spread the mulch and perform any necessary tasks. People are crucial to any job. You need to assess whether you have the right people that are properly trained and available for any tasks at hand. In the military, having skilled personnel ready to complete the task is vital. In your business, you just need to make sure that your personnel know their roles and can complete the task efficiently. This might be delegating specific tasks or roles based on a person's strength, or ensuring that everybody on the team understands the overall picture. Effective communication and teamwork are key to executing the job smoothly. Aircraft have tons of parts and materials that are needed. Thousands, actually, maybe even tens of thousands. Soldiers need to be able to not only fix the sheet metal on the outside, but also the electronics, the weapon systems, the engines, all the above. Imagine how many pieces are needed to be made available at any given time to make sure that we can keep these aircraft up. Alright, so the parts needed is approximately 2.38 cubic yards of mulch and then some possible weed barrier fabric and edging materials if requested by the customer. Parts refer to the materials that are needed to complete a task. In Army Aviation, this just means having the part or being able to resource the part so that you can complete the job at any given time. The landscaping job, this might mean the mulch itself, gas, edging material, weed barrier fabric, things like that. Always verify that you have all the materials on hand before starting any job to avoid delays. Nothing's worse than starting and then having to stop just to go get a $5 part. In the Army, we have a saying, right place, right time, right uniform. All this is referring to is ultimately time. Make sure that when you schedule something, make sure that you're on schedule, in the right attire, at the right place. The time estimated is a total of 6 hours, so measure and prep is 1 hour, mulch delivery another hour, spreading the mulch with 2 workers 3 hours, and then inspection and cleanup 1 hour. Time management is essential. Being able to articulate and understand how long each phase of a task takes is extremely crucial for when you're quoting a job. Make sure you allocate enough time for each task at hand. And you may want to include a buffer for any setbacks. This will ensure that your customers are satisfied, but also you're not overworking yourself and putting yourself in a sticky situation. In aviation, tools need to be readily available, not just for scheduled and unscheduled maintenance, but also in different environments, whether that's actually at the hangar or in the field somewhere or a deployment. Going to a field exercise and not having the tool can literally stop the mission. The tools that are needed are measuring tape, wheelbarrows, shovels, and rakes. And then just making sure that all the tools are in good working condition before starting the job. Having the right tools is non-negotiable. So if your truck breaks down on the side of the road, nothing's going to happen minus a bad day. If your aircraft stop working in the middle of the sky, they don't pull over to the side of the road. They fall out of the sky. In the military, having the right tool ensures that the job is getting done correctly and safely. Regular maintenance on all your equipment will ensure that you do not have breakdowns in the middle of your job. So take them damn things to either your local shop, the dealer, or do it yourself. For your business, the proper tools just means that your guys will stay safer and they can get the job done faster. If we're not in a real world situation or mission, then we are training. We literally train every single day for those actual events. And then lastly, the training, all we're doing is assessing the skills levels of each team member and then just verifying by their job books and their supervisor. In the Army, we are constantly rotating. From base to base, people are getting out, people are PCSing and moving and going to wherever they're going. So training is an ongoing thing, and to ensure proficiency, we have to do training constantly. This training is done at the individual level, at the company level, battalion level, brigade level. Some of this might be going over your head. However, at every echelon, there is different types of training that has to be done to ensure that we can work together and complete whatever mission that is given to us. In your business, this may look like onboarding, or like maybe you have a job book or something, or maybe just a training or an operations manager that trains everybody that comes in. And ultimately, all you're doing is you are showing them the ropes until they can kind of fly on their own. And once they know it, you're just checking up on them every so often to ensure that they stay and maintain proficiency. And then lastly, staying informed about new techniques and industry standards just ensures that you stay the most informed and have an upper hand or competitive edge against your competition. To make your business as efficient as possible, it's not a bad idea to use the same system. P4T3 is ultimately there to ensure we prevent downtime. And downtime is extremely important, especially when it comes to your business. So you don't want to get to a job and then have to leave your job just to get some parts, equipment, tools, whatever. And that's where P4T3 comes into play. It really allows you to think through the problem. By planning thoroughly and executing efficiently, you're able to ensure that you're quoting properly. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Consider subscribing and watching these other videos. Thanks.